In this video I want to discuss a few safety things around the combine. So how to enter your combine. Always have 3 points of contact on the ladder. So it'll be 1, 2, 3. So you'll always want to have 3 points climbing up. For climbing down, this is not a safe way is going down quickly like this. It's much better to turn around and take your time. When you go down the other way and you jump, you have a chance of rolling your ankle, breaking your leg. So always face forward. 3 points of contact climbing up and down. So a daily routine on our combines is cleaning the windows, and it can be a dangerous task. There are handles up here that you can hold for climbing around onto the feeder house. So when I'm coming over here, you want to make sure you're stepping on the grip tape areas. Sometimes you may have oil that has spilt from the header, or else there's just loose straw and chaff that can become a slippery surface. So make sure that you're always holding on to the handle up top here. You can also have your feeder house into a position that is easier for you to reach the window and wipe, but good idea to hold on to the handle and then wipe at the same time. But there's handles all the way around for supporting yourself, for cleaning the windows. If ever you need to go inside the grain tank, this is not the way to enter your grain tank, is climbing up through here over top. You'll go around to the backside where the engine is, climb up and enter. There's a nice ladder and railing to get inside the grain tank. Another safety thing I want to talk about is when driving down the road or when it's nighttime. So nighttime travel, you want to make sure that all of your lights are on, 4-way flashers on the header and combine are working so that vehicles approaching can see you. If ever you're traveling down the road and you see a vehicle ahead, try to find an area to pull over early in advance and allow the traffic to pass by. Whenever you need to come out and work on any of the components on the side of your engine, make sure it's shut off. If you're ever in an area inside the grain tank or up working in above the sieves area and the beater, it's a good idea to shut the equipment off and take the key out and maybe put it in your pocket just in case there's somebody else that were to come in and start it up. One of the more frequent collisions or accidents that we have on our farm is from an operator backing up the piece of equipment. It's a large piece of equipment, we can't see behind us, and the thing that I always tell all the operators is that reverse is for wrecks. So if anytime you can eliminate backing up and you can drive forward instead, please do that. You have much more visibility in front of you. We're usually in a nice big open field or a nice open yard. Much easier to drive forward than go backwards. So just remember, reverse is for wrecks. So with all of the reverse is for wrecks situation, at the end of the day when we park our equipment so that we're shutting down and we want to be prepared for the next day, so we're going to bring the combine parallel with the road. Our auger is going to be out, but we want to stay approximately 200 to 300 feet away from the road, and that'll give us enough distance so that when we start up the next day, all we have to do is start up and we drive forward, and then we can pull out and head to the area that we're going to harvest. When in comparison, what we've done before is the equipment's close to the road. We have service vehicles, fuel trucks, people walking around behind. When we back up, you can't see any of that equipment and it's just very chaotic. Much better stay 300 feet away when you go to start up for the day, drive forward and go towards the crop. So the reason why I want the auger out at the end of the day for getting ready for the servicing, so if you have a look here, the auger comes down quite low and the height of our fuel truck is much higher. So if we have our augers out and the fuel truck can get much closer and it's a lot easier for the fuel nozzle to get up and fuel the equipment. Plus this will be out of the way, that there's no risk of the top of the fuel truck hitting the spouts. You can look down the way, all of the spouts look quite low, so if they're out in the unload position, it'll be a lot easier for fueling and servicing the equipment. Another thing that you need to be aware of is with the auger sticking out so far, and with combines being a rear axle steering, if you're becoming close to any buildings or equipment or power poles, you don't want to do a very sharp turn, because with your auger being out and you do a sharp turn, it'll swing like this, and so the object that you have turning sharp, you have risk of hitting the object with your unload auger. So when you're approaching a semi grain trailer or a grain cart for unloading, when you do your approach, you'll want to come nice and straight, but as you exit, keep in mind that it's a rear wheel steering, and if you were to exit and turn away from it very sharp, you have risk of the back end of the combine swinging in towards the piece of equipment that you're unloading into and hitting that object. So when pulling away, do a nice slow gradual pull away from the equipment.